Hello. I'm sure y'all are probably thinking, what the heck is Norwex? And it's okay. I was the exact same way. I'm gonna wait a few minutes for some people to hop on and then we'll get started. And y'all bear with me. And if y'all hear that, y'all hear nothing. My husband has my kids, so I've had a few minutes to do this. So I've got all of this stuff out just to kind of introduce you. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of the products, but I did want to show you just a few of them, the ones that I started with, and now I have Norwex products all over my house because I love it. I'm just going to wait a few minutes, see if anyone hops on. And the fabulous thing about live is if you didn't catch the live, then let's share it and I'll tag the ones that didn't see it, and y'all can catch it later. Because I've got some cool stuff coming up this week. I'm going to do this really cool experiment at some point this week whenever my children allow me to do that, and just kind of going more in depth about this insane microfiber. I don't think anyone's going to hop on. Let's see. And like I said, y'all bear with me because I have the phone set up on a tripod. So I'm going to have to move it around and I look like a weirdo for a while. Let's see if that works. And sorry, it looks kind of weird in here. I had a really weird glare coming through the thing, so I got everything shut down, which is, it feels weird to me because I've always got the windows open. So I'm gonna hop right in. I can't tell that anyone has hopped on, but like I said, I call her Mama Lisa because she's like my second mother. She introduced me to Norwex and I was very, very skeptical. but she was someone that I trusted, and I'm forever thankful. Because it is a cleaning miracle. And I still didn't quite understand it whenever I first got the first couple of products that I bought. And so I started doing my own research, trying to figure out like, why in the world would this even really work? And is this like, am I crazy? Which y'all know I am. But so anyways, so before I even show you the products, I'm gonna give you just a very simplified explanation or kind of tutorial, I guess you could say, of their microfiber. So there is a very real difference in mechanical cleaning versus chemical cleaning. And I did not know that. Because this right here is my life. And I have also discovered that clean is not a smell. Because I like, it has to smell like bleach or Pine Sol, or even whenever, this is funny, just random. When I was pregnant with Tuff, I actually craved the smell of Pine Sol. Like whenever I started nesting, I wanted everything in my house to smell like Pine Sol. Someone hopped on, I can't tell who it is. Just say hi, because I can't see. So anyways, there's a very real difference between mechanical cleaning and chemical cleaning, which I had never really thought of. And like I said, everything has to smell clean. So I've really been doing more research into that. But right before Lisa introduced me to these products, this is a side note if you read the About Me page on the group thing. But so one of our dogs, I had been cleaning like a mad woman one day. We had been cleaning around some stuff outside, and there was some things that I had took outside and used some of my inside cleaners on like trash cans and that sort of thing outside. Well, long story short, that night he actually went into like this crazy respiratory distress, and long story short, I think it was because of all the chemicals because he was like following me around, but all the chemicals that he was exposed to that day. So crazy. So if you have kids, or if you have someone in your family that has respiratory issues or anything like that, this is something to really think about. But anyways, so before I even show you any of the Norwex products, you may be using some of these wrong. And these are my go-to things that I have laid out here. And I don't know if y'all have ever read the label on some of your everyday cleaning things, but I had never like really sat down and paid attention to what's on the back of the, you know, of the bottles and stuff. It's crazy. So this is gonna be the first one that I'm gonna show you. Now, how many of us are using these like mad women right now? So is, you know, if your child's in school right now or anywhere out in public that is like this or the Clorox, mainly the Clorox, but I didn't have any Clorox because they're all gone out in public, but I did print it off, so I'm gonna go over that one here in a minute. But this one, the Lysol one, the one that you actually think would be fairly safe, the one that you think about wiping kids' stuff down with and stuff. So I'm gonna read the back of it. I don't know if you can see it. I marked some stuff on it here. So, and all of these, like right here, I don't know if you can see that. Most all of them say hazardous to human and domestic animals. And I like my children and I love my fur babies. So that was kind of scary to start noticing on just about all of them. And it goes a little bit further. So I'm gonna keep reading here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you. I'm not gonna bore you to death. But let's see. So it may cause eye irritation, avoid contact with eyes, and wash hands after use. That was the first thing that I noticed on the back of these. Because how many times have you been wiping something off and then just went ahead and just wiped your hands with the Lysol wipe? I have. So not good for skin. Right here. So if you wipe a doorknob off and someone touches the doorknob right after you've wiped it off, they need to wash their hands. And not only just wash their hands, but let's see. Says it on here. Maybe it's the other one. But also, if you really read of the difference in the sanitation and the disinfectant times, so to disinfect, you have to allow the surface to remain wet for 4 minutes, okay? Then you have to allow the surface to completely dry. So you have to get it wet enough to stay wet that long, and then you have to let it dry. Surfaces that may come in contact with food, you also, after it dries, you have to leave it wet for 4 minutes, let it dry, and then wash it off with water. I did not know that. Because I'm just sitting here wiping everything in my kitchen down like a crazy woman. So that's that one. And like I said, the funny thing that I kept thinking about this is like, I will wipe doorknobs or wipe whatever off and then just wipe my hands with it too. But that ain't, no, that's a no-no. This one right here. This is the spray that everyone's walking around just all over the place, okay? So I'm gonna read some things off the back of this one that I marked. Also with this, you have to let surfaces remain wet for 3 minutes, then allow it to air dry. And that's to disinfect. Now there's a list of some other ones on here. Some of them I can't say, but some, like your hepatitis A, your adenovirus, your RSV, that sort of stuff, you have to allow those surfaces to remain wet for 10 minutes. So you have to spray this on and allow it to stay wet for 10 whole minutes. And then you have to let it dry. So you have to spray enough to get it wet and then let it dry. It also says right here, rinse toys. So I don't know, like, if your kid's in school or if you're like just spraying stuff down in your kid's room that they may play with or put in their mouth. I mean, obviously if it's like stuff, like baby stuff that they would be putting in their mouth, I'd hope that you'd wash it off anyways. But it's just crazy to think that it's harmful enough that after you use it, you need to wash it off with water to get the chemical off of it. So, let's see right here. It also says, cautions, do not spray in eyes, of course, on skin, or on clothing. So, obviously I'm not just gonna like start spraying this on my clothes, but if you spray this onto a surface, and then someone touches it, so if you spray a doorknob off, or the back of a chair, or whatever, with this, then they touch it, and it's still wet, it's a no-no, right here on the bottle, right here on the back of the can. Same thing goes with, like I said, I didn't actually have a Clorox bottle or a tub because, like I said, they're all gone right now. But the same thing right here, if the surface, which is very small, may come in contact with food, you have to wash it off with water. You cannot just wipe the counter and leave this on there. You have to wash it off with water. Didn't know that. Pine Sol, this is what I wanted my house to smell like when Tuff was born. I didn't have any of it either because it's all gone in the stores. And I'm using Norwex now, so I wasn't going to buy any. And I have used Pine Sol for years. I've used it for years without gloves. Seriously. And most of the things on the back of these say to also use gloves, which I usually don't do. And maybe you do, and that's awesome. But if this gets on your skin, if Pine Sol gets on your skin, you have to wash your hands or your skin, whatever it got on, for 15 to 20 minutes. Right here on the back of on the label. I mean, like if I'm cleaning, you know, when I get done cleaning, I wash my hands, but I've never washed my hands for 20 minutes, just so you know. This one right here, one of my favorite toilet bowl cleaners. Get this. Now, this is the same precautionary things that are on most of them, that they're hazardous to your kids, your dogs, or whatever. So, and I know for you moms out there, if y'all are cleaning around the house, how hard is it to keep your kids away from the surfaces that you've just cleaned? Because you know as well as I do, you're going to wipe this counter off and they're going to come put their hand on it. Or at least in my world. But, and this, actually, my mom has had this same issue. And other women that I know, unfortunately, who smoke like myself, which is ironic that I'm on here telling you about your health. But I just want to point this out because this is very real. And most people probably would not be trying to sell you a product and then telling you about them smoking and using some other product. But that's how I roll. So I have used very similar stuff like this. So the Clorox, this is actually for your toilet bowl. And then I have the one that you can spray in your shower. So normally what I do is I go in and I spray my shower down, let it sit for a while, and then I go in there and clean. Well, of course, then I wash my hands and all that, but I do smoke. Well, right here on the back of the label, it says, of course, for prolonged use, wear gloves, which I normally don't do. Wash thoroughly with soap and water after handling, before eating, drinking, chewing gum, chewing tobacco, or using the toilet. So, in my world, even hours after I have used this, in combination with this, like deep cleaning my bathroom, even if I've washed my hands, I can smoke later, even sometimes the next morning, and my cigarette tastes like Clorox. Yeah. I know most people probably wouldn't be that honest with you, but I'm just being real. And that is the honest truth. Like, and my mom can vouch for that because she has had the same experience. But anyways, so like I said, I'm going into all of this because even if you never buy a Norwex product from me, there are some of the, read the labels on the stuff that you're using and at least use it right. I just want to make sure that y'all know because this was like an eye-opener for me. This is another one of my favorites. So I use the pods, and of course we've had a very select group of people in the world that have chose to eat these. So there's other precautionary things on the back for that special group of people. But here's the thing. So right here, of course, keep out of reach of children so they don't put it in their mouth, that sort of thing. If swallowed or detergent gets in mouth or eye or on skin, call your local poison control. And we're putting this on our laundry. I mean, you've got to reach in there and get one out. And it even says up here, if they're stuck together, not to pull them apart, because that's how dangerous that it may be to your skin. So, and I don't know how many times I've stuck my hand down in there and pulled two apart because they're stuck together. But the thing is, like, if you have too many clothes in your wash machine, not that I've ever done that, but, or if your wash machine doesn't rinse all of that out, we're taking those clothes out and we're putting them on. I mean, look, it says right there, do not get on skin. That's a scary thing to be putting on your clothes and then on your kids. Just saying. Same goes for the Cascade. Look at this. Okay, so, and this was the funny thing. It says don't use with wet hands. So I'm a mom and I'm always in a hurry, always. So if I'm washing dishes and I'm rinsing the dishes off and then I get them in there, my hands are probably still a little wet whenever I stick my hand in here to just grab one. And that is a big no-no right here on the back of the bottle. Do not, even like the big thing up here is like, make sure your hands are completely dry. And same thing for this. Like it says, do not get on skin or on clothing. Induce vomiting immediately. Rinse with water for 15 minutes. I forget where it says it on here. But anyways, if your dishwasher does not get all of this off, you're putting that right in your mouth. Like, just say, it's right here. Anyway, same goes for the stuff that we use on our floor. Harmful to kids, harmful to pets. So if you're mopping and your dog comes running through like mine normally does, not good at all. Bleach, another one of my favorites. Read the back of the bleach bottle. That's kind of scary. Ajax, same thing. All of these are things that I have normally used, but I have replaced all of this. And I have every kind of cleaning gadget known to man. This is for my blinds. I have like 4 of these, you know, so I can like, I don't know, let the kids do it too. I have a industrial size dust mop. I have the Swiffer. I have a thing to clean my fan. I have this, which also on the back of, if you pull the Swiffer thing out here, it also says have to let it completely dry before touching it. So if your kids are following you around while you're Swiffer wet jetting and they're walking through it, it's a no-no. So anyways, now I'm going to show you a few of the products that I started with. I'm going to try to make it real quick so I don't bore y'all to death. And y'all bear with me with my camera here. That is actually a Norwex cloth that I have used earlier, and then I'm just letting it hang there to dry. So, like I said, I showed you all of the chemicals, but the thing with Norwex is instead of placing the chemical on the surface, allowing it to kill whatever bacteria or virus or whatever, you use it correctly. The whole thing with Norwex is they want to just take the virus and the bacteria and things off of the surface. Just be gone with it. So this insane microcloth, this is my regular microcloth here that I had before, just that I would wipe counters and stuff like that down with. But this, a normal one, if you take a piece of just regular microcloth, pull a piece of hair out, and take a knife and cut it 6 times, that's regular microcloth. This right here, take a hair out, take a knife, cut it 200 times, then embed it with silver and a backlock technology, and it all stays right here. We'll pick up everything. It's insane. And so this is one of the things that I started with, and this is the EnviroCloth. And I started with it because the E, to remind y'all, is for everything, and you can use it on everything. And then I also got the dust mitt. And like I said, as you know, as you've seen, everything in my house is dark wood. And this right here has that same microfiber technology that will pick up everything. And this, like literally, I can dust everything. Just let me show you why I've got this in my hand. Because this has really been a lifesaver, because I have a lot of stuff in my house to dust, and I hate dusting. And I actually have 2 of these because I hosted a party and I got one in my thing. So even 2 works better than 1. But say you pick up your picture frames. So both hands are like going at the same time. There's no trying to keep the cloth in your hand or anything like that. It's amazing. It has cut my dusting time down basically, I would say over half of my dusting time. Still don't necessarily like to dust, but this has made life a lot easier. Then I do not start with. So I paired the Enviro cloth with the window cloth, and this is like gold here, ladies. I'm telling you. You have this, you can clean everything in your house, disinfect it, sanitize it, use it multiple times, only with water, wet it, wipe down whatever, all of your surfaces, all over the house, windows, everything. Counters, windows, doesn't matter. Everything, Enviro cloth. But once you're done with it, rinse it off, wring it out and hang it up just like this one by the tag. And as it dries, it's actually going to sanitize itself. It will not stink. And I have waited. I have even tried. This is actually the one that I've tried it with. I have let it hang like this. I've been using this one probably, I don't know, probably a week. I've been pushing it, trying to make it smell bad. And I mean, I know that y'all can't smell it, but I even use this on the boat. So if y'all have any type of RV or boat or anything like that, I took this is extra, I wasn't even gonna tell y'all about this, but one of the kitchen towels to dry the entire boat before we put the seats on it. And it was amazing. So this isn't just for inside. I've used it in my car. I've used it out in the she shed. I've used this on my computer, everything. But so those are the products that I started with. I started with the dust mitt, the Enviro cloth, and this right here, and I'm about to show you if the lighting will work with me. But like I said, the crazy microfiber technology is completely different from the chemical, because what this is designed to do is to actually pick up everything with all those little fibers in there, and with the embedded silver, it's going to pick it up instead of just killing it and letting it sit there like our other products are doing. Not to mention all the hazards that come along with those products. So I'm going to show you, I showed you the dust net. I don't know if y'all can get it right. So this is my makeup mirror. And of course it has toothpaste on it. It has makeup on it. It has, that's actually really disgusting. Oh, if I can get it to focus. Look at it. Oop. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I don't know. Oh, I can see that Karen's watching. Hi, Karen. You see my nasty makeup mirror? Ugh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Enviro cloth. It's completely dry. That's it. I'm going to wet it. I don't know if y'all can see me. Just water. I'm going to wring it out real good. Oh, and not to mention the paper towels back there. Cut out paper towels a lot. I'm like the world's worst. Like, I would hate to know how many trees I've killed with paper towels. Like I said, I'm almost 3 over here. All right. You see this? Whoop. Oh, of course the lights are gonna come on. Turn it off. I ain't blinding. You see that? Gone. Completely clean with just water. I mean, no Windex, no, my favorite for stuff like that was this right here. And as you can see, I have the dark countertops also, which you can see everything on. So this was the only thing that I had ever found that would not leave streaks on my countertops. But now the boys say hi. Hi, babies. So this is the only thing in life that I had ever found to not leave streaks on these countertops until I started using water. Tell my boys I love them. So let's see, what next? So those are the products that I started with those 3, because I was like, I'm not gonna jump all the way in until I try a few things myself. Now I got them all. Next thing, this the mop, I'm actually gonna back it up here. So as you see, I have the big size industrial mop. I have the Swiffer Wet Jet. I have all of the above. We also have the Inside Dog now. So, and y'all are gonna be grossed out whenever I show you this, but I'm gonna show you anyway. So after I bought the first few products, I booked a party and I got this for free. For free. And you have the option to do that too. All you have to do is let me know and we will try our best to make that happen. But I just want to show you this. So like the Swiffer pads, like if you're just going to do a quick dust or whatever, of course, you know, you use them, then you throw them away. And I'm going to do this right here on my floor because I know that I can, put this down. Because I know I can actually just sweep it back up. Can you see all that dog hair? I love my fur babies, but they are... Couple of swipes with this rubber brush, which you do not have to have. I decided to get it, so I mean, you can take this off and literally take it outside and shake it. But look, completely clean. And this puts the static charge back in it with the same microfiber as the towel that I just showed you, and it will go right back to picking up all of that again. Just gonna real quick mop that up, or sweep that up. Like I said, I got that with the party. I booked a party and I actually got that for free. And then I did this with it. This is a tile and mop pad, so it depends on what kind of floor that you have, what kind of this would be best for you. For me, I have concrete floors, and they're a blessing and a curse at the same time because you can see everything on them unless you use water, and then your life will be changed. So that was the stuff that I started with these three, and then I moved up to the mop and the duster and this right here. This right here, if you have a bathroom shower that has a glass door, which we do, and it gets to the point where you, because my kids finger paint, or not finger paint, but soap paint on it. This is a game changer in the shower, ladies, the descaler. So I did end up ordering that after I had been introduced to them. But I want to show you this, ladies, because at my party, as you can see, I've used this one. That's makeup, just so y'all know before y'all freak out. Me and Mom ordered my Nana some of these because she doesn't usually leave the house without makeup, and she had told us that she had ruined almost every rag that she had in her house. Well, for years, the only thing that I had ever been able to, without irritating my eyes and my face, to get my eye makeup off, and this is waterproof. I'm gonna try to show you there. I don't know if you can see it there, but right there it says waterproof. But the only thing that I had been able to find to actually get my makeup off without completely killing my eyes was Pampers baby wipes, and I'd scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub. That's until this. So they also have an entire line for your body and your face, and this is the makeup removal cloth. As you can see, I've used it. But I just want to show you. I'm going to show you on my arm. Let's see. I know, which I have not wore that much makeup here lately because not been anywhere, but I'm going to show you real quick. All right, so waterproof mascara. Right there. Then you just take your makeup removal cloth. Nothing but water. Watch this, ladies. Gone. It's insane. I'm trying not to take up too much of y'all's time, but I'm just really excited. Okay, so I love my husband, and since he's on here, I can pick on him because I'm not talking about him behind his back. My husband is an absolute fabulous cook. We had the agreement years ago that, it's got a glare, that he would cook and I would clean. And I should have really thought about that before I made that decision. God, I love you, baby. I hope you can see that. So this is like some burnt stuck on stuff. For the longest time, I would spray this with all kinds of cleaner and try to let it sit to get it off of my glass top. Like I said, that stuff's really on there. And nothing would work. So I would actually take a straight razor and I would clean it the best I could, and then I would come back in here and I would like chisel off this stuff and all kinds of crazy stuff, because this is like one of my pet peeves is when you walk into the kitchen, because that's normally where everyone gathers and you can see stuff on the stove. So I'm going to show you this. This is the cleaning paste. I'm going to wet my Enviro cloth. This is still just using water on the actual Enviro cloth. All this does is give it a little bit of a grit to get this gunk off of here. So it's just like a pressed powder, just like, ladies, just like you'd kind of use on your face. But you just wet this, just rub it on there, get some on there, see that? And watch. Hope there's not a glare. Let's see, I'll start with this one because y'all can see that one best, I guess. See that coming off? Now I would normally have to take literally a straight razor to get that off. And then the thing with the Norwex, until you decide to rinse it out and wash it, just flip it and keep going, ladies. That is the huge time saver. If you're not having to stop and continuously wash your rag out or get you another paper towel or whatever, huge time saver. A good wipe there for, can't tell what I'm doing. I don't know if y'all can see that. And I only did just a little bit of it, just kind of like this corner. But is that not crazy? Now that was like stuck on. But that is the stuff that I started with. Oh, still got that. Might as well just go ahead and clean the whole thing. Ain't that right, ladies? So again, like I said, I really did not understand or even take into consideration that there was really a difference in mechanical cleaning. This right here, mechanical, think mechanical, just using your elbow grease instead of some nasty chemical. But that there was actually a difference, and that it made that big of a difference. But I have been enlightened, and I'm actually stunned, which takes a lot for me to do, to be amazed by something. I was going to clean the window, but the light is coming in weird, so I'm going to do a whole separate video on just the window, and I'm going to do excuse me, a whole separate video on just the mop, because the mop has changed the game here with the boys and the dogs. So to start with, like what I started with, you can actually get the 3 that I started with, which got me hooked. So will be the Enviro cloth, the window cloth, these 2 right here, gold, ladies, and the dusting mitt, plus the washing powder that is safe to have on your clothes and your skin, and the cleaning paste that I just used on my stove. You get all that with the Safe Haven 5, which if you have never used Norwex, or let me roll this down. I got some weird stuff going on here. If you have never used Norwex and want to try it, that is kind of just like a really good go-to as far as to be able to kind of test a variety of products for the cheapest cost. Oh, sorry. And whenever I first looked at the products, I will just tell you, because I do not like to spend money on cleaning products. I've got other stuff that I could be buying. But whenever I really realized how many products that this replaced, I was really shocked. Because like I said, that entire counter over there has been replaced. No bleach, no Pine Sol, no Clorox wipes, none of that. So you have to take that into consideration. Just throwing that out there, because I was like, no, that's not for me. So you can get the Safe Haven 5, get all of that, and the first person that gets the Safe Haven 5 from me. I'm also going to throw in the makeup cloth that I just used on my arm. So if you ladies want to be able to get your makeup off all at one time with just water, I'll throw that in. I'm going to throw in the body cloth for the shower, which is absolutely amazing. I can actually shave my legs. I'm giving y'all more information than what I wanted to today. But I can actually shave my legs, just lather this up with soap. It kind of exfoliates the skin and just shave away. No shaving cream. It's insane. And I have sensitive skin. I'm going to throw in these beautiful Norwex napkins, just table napkins. And then I'm going to throw in, because you're going to have some of these products at that point to take care of, and I do highly recommend only washing your Norwex products in this, because the other one's not safe for you. I'm going to throw in this bag. So I like to keep all mine in a bag whenever I toss them in there, especially if I'm going to wash them with some other stuff, which Norwex products so much, I will do an extra load of laundry with just my Norwex in it. But I'm going to give you this bag also. So just remember that if first one to buy the Safe Haven 5, or to yell, yeah, me, I'm going to give you all of that. And ladies, if y'all want that amazing mop, I'm telling you, y'all know that I like to be real, but if y'all would like a chance to get that mop for absolutely free, all you have to do is book an online party or one at your house. Now the ones in home are so fun, because I've got some really cool demonstrations to show, but I'll be more than happy to book you one online, so you can leave it open for as long as you want. You can add people, you know, as you think about them, or that sort of thing. But either way, either party option, you can get the mop for free. Which it doesn't take much, because I got it for free and all kinds of other stuff for free. I was blown away when the box came. I was like, I didn't order all this, and then it was like, well, you got this and you got that. I was like mind blown. But I just wanted to quickly share just my Norwex experience so far, but y'all stay tuned to this group page, because I'm going to try to do more of the products individually instead of all at one. I just know that most of y'all had probably never heard of Norwex, because I hadn't. Which I live under a rock, so that's not saying much. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to message me, and just stay tuned to the group page this week, because I'm going to show some more products individually and do that demonstration as soon as I can. So I love you ladies, and if y'all have any questions, let me know.